But imagine now that it's not their birthday. They're, you don't have any events going on, but you have these people that are coming in. Well, what happens when they stop coming in and they don't respond to the birthdays, and you haven't seen them and you don't know why? Well, if you have a system that's tracking them and it ties them back, the power of that information is, they have not transacted since X date. Well, the technology that we use says, well, if they haven't been here in 30 days, I'm going to trigger something automatically that's going to send them a message that invites them back in. Or just ask the question, hey, how you been? Where you been? Let me know you're alive, right? And then at 60 days, and then at 90 days, right? Because if you're getting further and further away, every 30 days you don't communicate with somebody that's on your list or coming to your restaurant, you're risking the chance of losing them. Because the thing that happens in those 30 days, the 60 days, the 90 days is other people are communicating to them. Right? Somewhere around here, I got a Valpak packet, right? It lands on their lap. Their wife says, hey, there's a new place in town. Their friend invites them over here. And the risk you run is that they're better marketers than you and that they actually capture their information and they make them loyal customers.
Correct.
They already have them. They're already there. Look out in the dining room. The next time you're standing in the dining room, look at the dining room and be like, these are my customers, my guests.
Take care of them.
And I cherish them because they pay my bills and they put my kids through school. So, I would treat them differently. And you treat people differently that transact and spend more with you. And not only does it work on the lost customer. And when I talk about lost customer in multiple ways, it goes back to what Jimmy and I were talking about. Email is great, but how about you shoot them a text? How about when all else has failed, you've actually hit them with email, you've hit them with a text. Well, why not mail them something? Or even worse, if you know the lifetime value of a customer in your business, and I'm telling you, if you sell hot dogs, and people come once a month for hot dogs, you're at least like, $600 or $800 per person in lifetime value. If you have a nice restaurant at like $12, you're in like the $3,000 to $4,000 range. If you got 25, you're in the $6,000 to $10,000 range of your check average, right, Jimmy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Now, lifetime value, think about it. It's like these people come multiple times, they bring friends, they refer people, and I keep them for, say, 5 years, right? So they have a lifetime value. Well, if a lifetime value of a customer in my world is the one transaction, that's not so good.
Right.
But what would you do if you knew that somebody that was worth $1,000, even just say it's 500, Jimmy, for just shits and giggles.
Yep.
If I told you that there was somebody that was worth $500 to your restaurant and you have no way of knowing if they're coming into your restaurant, not coming into your restaurant, if they're transacting or if they're never coming back or have never been back, would that not drive you nuts? I mean, if I told you you had $500, so
I'm looking at 10 people going, holy shit, how do I capitalize that? I need to get my hands.
Yeah, right. 10 people's 5,000, Jimmy. And I'm telling you, every time we dig into a database, we find that there's a lot of lost customers.
Yep.
We see it a lot of times. People have started programs and then they've stopped them. And then they started something else and they stopped it.
Yep.
And like there's a list over here and there's a list over here. And it's like, holy cow, when you put all the lists together, they're not the same.
Right. They get sold some shiny object from salesman and it's the next greatest thing. And
it's just one simple, affordable system you need to do all this. So, okay, so if I now said I'm going to email them, I'm going to text them, and I've now sent them a letter, I've sent them a postcard, I would actually pick up the phone. And we could automate that for you too. There's voice broadcasting we can do, and we can hit everybody. But if they were really, if they're really worth $500, $1,000, $2,000 to you, hey, wouldn't it be nice to be able to pick up the phone? Oh, no. You only have an email address. Oh. That's my thing, man. Jimmy, I'm telling you, I talk to restaurant owners every day about this stuff. And it's like, those are the caveats that I see. Oh, that email list. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
one of those. Hard to mail somebody something with an email list.
So you've got a pretty restaurant. So what? So
what, right?
What?
We got a whole list of those. So what?
Yeah, so what? Who cares?
You fly in your fish from right in Alaska.
So what?
You can't reach your guests and ask them to come in whenever you want. That's a problem.
That's you know what? You had a storm recently down there in Raleigh. and a lot of your power was out.
Yep.
On the other side of town, it wasn't. How cool would it have been to say, hey, we're open. We got power into that neighborhood of your customers who.
Oh, pop out a text, boom.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I know people are struggling with power and electricity. Come on down. You know, we're giving away free sodas, and we're here and we're open.
Yep. But if you don't have that information,
And you can't use it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the next couple ones, Jimmy, I think are like, there's a lot of value, and these are the ones that I think people, when they look at a list like this, they kind of like, oh yeah, and they kind of like, okay. So